Time for a little two bears, one cave.
These
guys get invited?
It's amazing. Of all the topics we've talked about today, of all the outrage I've had, this might be the most offensive. I couldn't believe what these guys did when they came back. So last week we played clips of Stavros and Chris DiStefano making fun of the idea that they filled in for Bert and Tom. And usually when you have hosts fill in for you, all the comments are like, this is dumb. Why did you do this to us? Fuck these guys. When Stavi and DiStefano took over, Chris DiStefano said people were stopping in the street and shaking his hand to thank him for relieving them of listening to Bert and Tom. And Stavi and Chris had a lot of fun with that. It was very well received. People loved it. Even like the people that hate everything, like podcast cringe, like they loved it. They thought it was great. Now, part of that is because they hate two bears. I think, like for example, I just mentioned podcast cringe. When I watch channels like that, I do try and be a little different because often I think they kind of hate everything, you know? And so I try to talk about things I like or go against some of that stuff once in a while. This is a rare case where my guy podcast cringe, I don't even know if he went far enough criticizing Tom and Bert for the slap in the face they gave their audience when they came back. Listen to this lack of energy, lack of caring, and just completely disrespecting their audience. It would have been better if they literally came on, pulled their pants down, and took a shit on the podcast desk and walked away and said, this is what you got this week. Yes. Let's hear it. This was one of the worst performances when you're trying to, I don't know, win your audience back. They gave it about 3 seconds of being playful and then get into one of the worst pleas to keep an audience or please them.
Welcome to the final episode ever of Two Bears, One Cave. It was a blast while it lasted, and we're here to sign off. We thank Stavi and Chris DiStefano for taking over. We know you enjoy them, and you will continue to enjoy them. Bert, good to see you.
Good to see you.
So that was them. That's them trying to be playful and lean into the joke. Kind of a weak attempt, but hey, you know, they're playing along. Good for them. Let's see where it goes.
Did you watch any other episodes?
I would watch
not, you did not.
I saw parts of it. I didn't.
You don't watch any fucking podcasts.
That's true, but I did watch parts of it. I started the first one. I watched about 25 minutes of it, and then I would pick up little parts of the other ones. Yeah. Did you watch them all?
I watched everyone.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. No. I watched the clips. I just know they were trashing us, telling them the whole time. I saw
they were great.
Stavi's so fucking funny, man.
They're both.
DiStefano is. I think Chris is fucking hysterical. I think he's one of the funniest guys alive.
I totally agree. They're both just out of this world.
These guys, Stavi and Chris came on their show and shit all over them. Not good natured. It was clear Stavros and Chris don't hate these guys. They're friendly with them. They like them. They were being playful and funny. But shit all over them and the product that they put out. And they come back. If you want an example that Tom Segura has changed, you don't need to go to the watch store. You don't need to see him with Tommy Baldessari or whatever the guy's name is. Mm-hmm. You can just look at this clip and listen to this Hollywood Tonight Show type of answer where he's like, those guys are just fantastic. Oh, boy, I really like that. I respect a lot of what they do. I really enjoy them. They're having no fun with it. They're giving this fake answer, even though you can tell it annoyed them that the fans hate them now and loved the fill-ins. But they're giving, there's no life to it. It's just those guys are they do a lot of great work. Go check out their stuff. They're really excellent.
Charismatic, funny. I mean, they're so entertaining. Whenever I do a podcast with them or even see them socially, it's always nonstop laughs. They're fantastic.
Did you see Chris on hosting Kimmel?
I did. I watched his monologue. Yeah,
he was great.
Yeah, fantastic.
His monologue was so natural.
Yeah, he's the man, dude. So fucking funny.
Oh man, I really just loved everyone we worked with. The whole crew was really great. We were really a family on set. They're no different. Them giving that answer to what Stav and Chris did it sounded like fucking Jennifer Lawrence on with Seth Meyers. Like these were not comedians talking about this. That's not the part I'm fired up about, by the way. That's the best of it. It goes downhill from there. But it did annoy me, particularly Tom, where Tom gives this like NPR answer where he's like, boy, both guys are really, I mean, they do a lot of great stuff. They're so naturally funny, and that's what I love about them. Like, be comedians about it. They came in and shit on you guys, shit on them, or make fun of yourselves, or do something when everyone called you lifeless for 6 weeks. Oh, these guys don't care about the podcast. But hey, I think this next clip really puts those rumors to bed. They prove how much they care about both the podcast and their audience.
Called quitting, Mike. This next one's called quitting.
No, I'm sure. Surely they mean they're quitting, not caring. They're going to be back with gusto. That's what they're coming back with. They got 6 weeks off, and it rejuvenated them. It gave them new life for the pod.
To rethink it.
Don't you feel, okay, here's the question. The first question is, how did you feel not having a podcast for a month, 2 months?
Fantastic.
It was
one
amazing.
of the best. It was the best. I would love to never do this again.
It was the greatest feeling I've ever had in my life.
What disrespect to the audience. If you're watching this, which I used to watch or listen to Two Bears early on, and then it got a little stale for me because I got the feeling, and call me crazy, I started to get the feeling that these guys stopped giving a fuck about the podcast. You know, for a while it was like one of them with fill-ins, and like they wouldn't always be there. And when they would record like 6 in a day. So it was just like, let's throw whatever shit at these people. And so then like naturally, I think some of the audience stops caring. It didn't matter to them because they had enough people that they're so big, like they had so much of an audience that they don't care if a few like me leave because the masses are still there. Just, I don't know, regular. It's comfortable to people or whatever. To come back and admit, I hate doing this. And this has been a criticism. Even we played a clip from Soder earlier. Soder is guilty of this. Stavros is guilty of it. Even a guy I love like Joe List. They're all guilty of this. They get on podcasts that are very popular and that we support every week, and that a lot of people like pay for their Patreons or buy their merch or like want to support them financially, go to their live shows. And sometimes that's just because they're obsessed with the show. Sometimes it's because they want to support these guys and they really like them. And what these hosts do is get on and say, oh, this is so miserable. I wish I didn't have to do this anymore. Now, what's interesting like you would hear the Come Town guys do this once in a while. They were funnier about it. But it would annoy me that they would be like, oh, this podcast is ruining my life. I wish I could not do it anymore. They were at a time in their lives where like, that was their source of income. They were making a lot of money doing it. But like if they stopped doing it, that would be a big financial hit to them. If Tom and Bert stopped doing this podcast, they're fine. They're touring all around the country. They have vodka brands. So what they're saying is, we want to milk you guys for everything you're worth, even though it doesn't really affect our bottom line. Like it wouldn't affect us that much, but we do want more money. The theme of today is greed, if you can tell. Whether it's Howard Stern or Red Zone or Tony or whatever the fuck we've talked about, these people are just greedy and they don't have to do this stuff. But they're saying it's ruining their lives. They're saying they hate doing it. It would better their lives and their family and everything if they stopped doing this. But they want to suck money out of us. So they're continuing to do it. That's such a crazy reason to podcast, particularly when you have other forms of income. Like if you know, like radio guys, if you were in radio for X amount of years and you've gotten sort of beaten down by the industry and you kind of hate doing it now, but it's like you got to feed your family. I get that. I totally get it. Like that's your source of income. And if the only thing on your resume for 30 years is AM radio, you're not going to get hired a lot of other places, you know? So I understand that. Bert and Tom have other sources of income. If they don't want to do it, they don't have to. Or as they just proved, they can take 6 weeks off, have co-hosts, and probably make more money on the podcast. Like, probably more ad revenue came in because those episodes were so popular. So, like, it is disgusting to hear them talk like this. So many podcasters are guilty of it. And I'll tell you who I give a lot of credit, a guy who was guilty of this and just stopped doing it, Nick Mullen. Nick Mullen was, his brain was made for podcasting. whatever it is, I've never seen anything like that where it more than anything else. Like he's very good at stand up. He could probably I know he writes like television, and I'm sure he could write a great movie script, things like that. His brain was built for podcasting, and he didn't like doing it, and he stopped. He's like, all right, I was making a lot of money at this. I'm not enjoying it. I'm walking away. And it's a shame because he was brilliant at it. These guys aren't even that great at it anymore. Like they stopped caring about it, and they're still doing it even though they don't want to. It's gross.
Life to not to
You know, shake on it. Okay.
You know, what's so funny. I've never been funnier in my entire life.
Then when you were there,
when I was there, casually funny, just talking to people and making people laugh, and I think because I'm talking so much, I forgot what it's like to be a regular person in conversations with people and be spontaneously funny.
Oh, great. So we're getting a completely watered down product that you're not confident in. Thanks, guys. Thank you.
Grab a membership. Make sure you grab a membership.
Yeah.
And my stand-up was so everything I thought went on stage, it didn't go into a podcast.
right? Yeah, that makes sense. It's great. You should do less podcasts.
Then do it. You're saying this on a podcast. How many times do I have to say that? Whether it's Jeselnik or Marin or now these two idiots, they're like, oh, you know what's really killing everything in our lives and society? It's podcasts. Where are you saying this, you morons? You're on a podcast. I don't get how they don't see that and the hypocrisy in it where it's like, you know what's wrong with everything in our world? It's podcasting. Anyways, guys, today's episode is brought to you by BetterHelp.
Yeah. Trim shaver.
Yeah.
It's playing. They're just looking at
Do you know how many podcasts? Do you know how much content I put out?
No. I mean, I have an idea.
3 podcasts.
Yeah.
I mean, we can think about this. 3 podcasts out of 7, three a week out of 7 days.
Yeah, it's a lot.
By the way, that silence, when you said, hey, it's playing, they're just talking, that silence was more, it was less of a slap in the face to the audience. It was more valuable entertainment than what they're doing right now. Listing how hard you work. This is another thing I hate in podcasting, where the they have, and by the way, these guys work hard. I'm certain of it. Like, you don't get to the point they are in their lives without working hard. So I think they're admirable in that way. They've worked very hard to get where they are. Great. They're talking to people with regular jobs who are listening to this, by the way, to just get through the monotony of everyday life. You know, just kill the dullness of their desk job or driving in the car or doing laundry or whatever the fuck they're doing to distract themselves from their lives. That's why they're listening to this podcast. And Bert and Tom get on a microphone and go, all right, let me list all the things I do. To a guy who in the summer could be roofing or mowing lawns or doing whatever. Like, you're out in the heat. I'm going to say to that guy, you're not going to believe this. I do 3 podcasts. I do stand-up. I travel, albeit private jets, but it's travel nonetheless. Like, can you believe I do all that? I have meetings. I have meetings with Netflix. I have to determine how much money Netflix is going to give me. Do you know how exhausting that is? And again, it is work, and it is probably exhausting. But to get on a microphone and tell regular workers, whether you have a mindless desk job that you just have to get through, or you're doing physical labor, or you're on the road all day, you're telling that person, you're not going to believe how hard I work. Yeah, listen to my credentials. 3, not 1, not 2, 3 podcasts in a week that I do.
You know, there's 7 days in a week, and 3 of those I'm working.
3 of those I spend an hour farting out content that I just said I put no work into. Like, I don't. He's going to tell you exactly how much work and prep he does for these podcasts that take up so many hours of his life.
Mike, this is one moment where your anger would actually be added to if you could really see what's going on here, because as he's telling you how hard his life is, he's sitting crisscross Indian style with his shoes off.
And by the way,
on $3,000 leather.
I've been to YMH Studios. Like, I've been inside there. It's very cool what Tom has built and everything. And it's disheartening to go there and see that operation and know the guy running it, who has provided platforms for all these podcasters and everything, what he's really saying is like, I just want money. I don't really give a shit about any of this.
It's all for watches.
I'm an artist, but I want to make art in other ways, not the things I'm actually doing and the way I make my money.
I should have been a singer.
Yeah.
30 years into this comedy thing, I've just figured that out.
Yeah, I know. It's time to quit.
Okay.
Yeah, see you guys. Yeah, so they're going to tell you how hard they work. That theme continues.
Doing too much. Here we go.
They really are. And, you know, believe me. Believe you me. I'm sure a guy that has a warehouse job for Amazon that just puts an earbud in so he doesn't hang himself from the ceiling fan because he's working a 15-hour day. I'm sure he's listening thinking, God, how are these two going to keep burning the candles at both ends? To think, Bert does a podcast, goes to a Florida State game and gives a speech before the game, and he does all that while drunk. Oh, this poor guy. How does he handle it?
Oh, my God, I just figured it out why you're mad at Bert.
Why?
Because he gave a speech to a Florida State team that then just beat up on your Texas Longhorns in front of everyone.
No, I'm fine with that.
Oh, people, it all comes back to football.
How do we make this to make us happier? Can I tell you? It was so fun. And then I did one podcast with Jeff Foxworthy.
Yeah.
And I was engaged and I was interested.
Yeah.
And I hadn't done one in 2 months. And I was like, I was present. It's like, it was crazy. It's
crazy. That's crazy to do a podcast and be present. Like, that is such a slap in the face to these people that you're talking to. Bert, you're on the air. You're talking to your audience. You shouldn't let them know that. I appreciate the idea of honesty. And this is another thing that the remnants of Howard Stern, where he told everyone, hey, just be honest. You know, like, be yourself, be honest, talk about your day, talk about your thoughts, talk about dark stuff that no one would really admit. The downside of that is not knowing where to stop and just getting on a microphone and going, yeah, I don't ever try. I don't really care about you people. And I just put out whatever bullshit comes out of my mouth. I'm not even really present. When you hear me on this microphone, on this show, I'm not really here. Physically, I'm here, and you can hear me talking. But mentally, I'm somewhere else. I'm on a comedy stage. I'm at a football game. I'm on Rogan. I'm with Jeff Foxworthy. I'm wherever the fuck else. But I'm certainly not here, and I'm not caring about this.
yeah. I mean,
There is such thing as doing too much, man.
buddy, I lived the life where I wanted to prove to everyone I could do everything.
Yeah.
Like, I literally was like, and I remember.
Can I tell you,
when you said,
poor bastard digging up my pool, digging a hole at the end of August, and has to take his shirt off because he's sweating so much. That guy is listening to Bert Kreischer and Tom Segura go, buddy, you just do too much. You do too much. If I walked outside when these fucking guys are working on my house and I was just like, boy, I'll tell you, fellas, I did too much today. I did. Guys,
Please do that.
hey, you seem a little, fine, I guess I'll get you a water if you really need one. But I'm in the middle of telling you something. I had to watch an episode of Quincy today and comment on it. And then I put together some of Drew Carey's best work, and I talked about that for an hour. You know how arduous that was?
Guys, one word, lol suit. Does that mean anything to you?
when you said we need to take time off from Two Bears to do our shows, I was so defiant.
I know.
Because I'm still subscribing to that model of it's got to be released every week. It's got to be released every week. It's got to be released every week, same time. No matter if it's good or not. It doesn't matter if it's good. It's got to be released.
How dare you say that to your audience? It doesn't matter if it's good or not. It doesn't?
A little disrespected. Also explains our work.
Yeah, it explains a lot.
I don't care if it's good. Did it get released? Like, that's the mentality I've been at. And and you know, I don't know. I am absolutely not Joe Rogan, who can put out amazing podcasts 7 days a week. I mean, he can do. I don't know how he does it.
I'll tell you how he does it. Joe Rogan has built a model. Whatever you think about Joe Rogan, this is absolutely true. I will not accept anyone disagreeing with this. Whatever you think about Joe Rogan, Rogan has built a model where he has guests he's interested in and talks to them about whatever he wants to talk about. You can criticize that. Like I don't think he interviews his guests enough anymore. It's more about what he wants to do. But I'll tell you this. That's why he's able to make his podcast as often as he does and not blow his brains out and not get on a mic and go, oh, I'm doing too much. I hate how much I'm giving you guys. I don't even care if it's good or not. The reason Joe's able to do that is because he does a podcast he's interested in. He doesn't do bullshit that he hates just because they have advertisers every week. And just to keep those advertisers, even if you're shitting out content that you don't believe in and you don't respect.
Do you think that maybe they just all think they have to do it because Joe Rogan does it? Like, we have to.
Yeah, yes. Yeah. Yes, honestly, yeah. Like, that's what's weird is like they Bert particularly, like, looks at Rogan as his daddy and is like, well, Joe's doing it, so I have to do it. Now, here's where I'll give them credit. They're being honest about all this stuff. They're saying, hey, I don't really enjoy this. My life was better without podcasting. Like, that's interesting. Good for them for being honest. The issue I'm taking with it is they're going to put out a podcast next week. This isn't like Tom joked at the beginning. This is not the last episode. They're going to do a podcast next week and the week after that and the week after that and the week after that. And it's going to be horseshit. They're not going to take their own advice and say, well, let's just do 2 a month. You know? They would still make money on this podcast and it would probably be better, as they just said. They would care about it more. They would miss each other and have things to talk about. But instead, because it makes money, not money they need, but money they want, because it makes that money, they're going to keep doing it every week. That's what's like with Tim Dillon. Like, you can talk about all the ills and you can be open about it. And it's like, hey, good for you for being open. You are still doing it, though, which is a little weird. You know, you're talking about how you know it's wrong, which is great. But then you're going against what you just said, which is psychotic.
Greed really is the theme of the day. Now that I'm looking back
at
these topics, my God.
It's wild. Yeah.
Yeah. You can never have enough, I guess.
No.
I don't either. He's also just, wired differently.
He's so different.
All right. The business.
He really is. Yeah. So they're talking about Amy Poehler, who, and by the way, Amy Poehler is no less greedy than them. She doesn't need to do a podcast, but she saw it would make money. You know what I mean? But like, Amy Poehler doesn't get on the mic and go, this fucking bullshit. All right, Andy Samberg, what do you want? You doing anything? Okay, let's get this over with. Yeah, no, I remember SNL. It's great. Whatever. I was so much happier when I wasn't doing this. Amy Poehler paints a smile on her face and does an interview with someone she likes. It's fun. Mm-hmm. And I'm not saying she's the greatest interviewer in the world, but like, if you like Amy Poehler, you can watch that and get satisfaction out of it. They're talking about Amy Poehler similarly to the way they were talking about Rogan, where they're like, how does she do a podcast every week? I don't understand it.
The Aubrey Plaza interview was pretty good by Poehler.
She's done a few. She was good with Tina Fey. She was good with Martin Short. I haven't watched a ton, but she does do a good job.
They joked about the name of the show because it's like Hanging with Amy Poehler, and the husband died by...
Aubrey Plaza made a joke about that?
Well, no, they kind of just like both walked around it and like they acknowledged it without saying it. It was very like girly and cute. I'm not saying girls aren't funny.
Good hang, I think it is. Good hang with Amy Poehler.
Good hang, exactly. It was very funny. I thought she was very good. Are you a Park and Recs guy?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, that show is fucking amazing.
Particularly the first.
Yeah, the first season. You said.
First few seasons.
Oh, with Mark? Oh, you're a Mark guy? What?
No, you're not hearing me. You're very obsessed with the first season. I said the first few seasons. Like the first 4 is what I would go back and watch. The later seasons, it got a little overdone.
Will never be as talented as Amy Poehler in any facility, and yet here she is doing a podcast, and it's good. It's really good. By the way, it's really good.
Really good.
It's really good.
I've seen a few.
But what? Why? What are you doing? Make fucking movies. And so what I'm saying is, Amy Poehler realized...
Maybe she wants to do it. Why are you talking her out of? This is what I hate as a guy that loves podcasting. Like, the reason I'm doing this is because I liked it. I wanted to get into radio when I was a kid, and when that died, I liked podcasting. And podcasting, to me, like any other generation, I would have been miserable in as a blind guy. It would have been very tough for me, I think. Mm-hmm. I love this because I can have just podcasts in my ears, all like the things I love, I have access to all the time, which I wouldn't have had in any other generation. And that's what drew me to podcasting. Maybe Amy likes the idea of it, or maybe it's just a money grab, but she's enough of a professional to not let us know that. She doesn't have to get on and be so brutally honest that it's disrespectful to the audience. But let's hear more about Bert's philosophy on why Amy's doing so well.
Realizes that the business we're in right now, like making movies and television shows, that's dying. This is the one thriving. She just hasn't. She's the first one to get to the oil rig and going, oh, this is cool. We're living on the ocean. And we've been living on the oil rig for 15 years going, it gets old.
True. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's new to her, so maybe it's exciting and fun to her.
It's,
you know,
her podcast
it's so fascinating to watch stand-ups because, like, all the guys I listed when I said Soder, Stavros, Joe List, these two, like the guys that openly are like, I hate podcasting. It's because they never wanted to get into podcasting. It's just that Carolla and Rogan and Maron and Burr created a model where they could sell tickets because of their podcast. And so that just became a thing that every comedian did. They never had a love for it. And now we're in the generation where you're starting to see the downside of that, where guys are bitter and upset that they have to do it every week and they hate themselves for it. And it's like, good for Maron for getting it. If Maron stopped enjoying doing it, good for him for calling it quits, you know? Like, because as bitter as Maron is, at least it didn't come to this, you know?
Mm-hmm. It's great.
Yeah, she's really good at it.
But that's because she's talented and anything she does is going to be amazing.
Yeah, I agree. She's great. She's really good, man.
Do you think?
And maybe she's having fun.
Do you think she
Segura
feels...
with these phony Hollywood answers? Segura was a guy I found... Listen, you don't have to be the same guy your entire career. And good for Segura for making more money. Like, there's a confusion because Segura, like, shits on the poors. People are like, oh, you're just mad that he got rich. It's like, no, Segura was a guy that when I found him had funny bits about his asshole doctor and his a guy whose wallet he found who was a dick to him. Like, he had these funny stories about these characters that he could build on and make fun of. And now he's a guy that just phonily says, oh, isn't he a terrific guy? Oh, isn't Amy Poehler great? Isn't she? Aren't Stav and Chris, aren't they tremendous? And it's like, you're just this phony, like, have a little fun. Be the guy that we found that shits on things and makes fun of it and has fun. But you found this new world. Like, Tom wanted to be Joe Rogan and be taken seriously as an interviewer. So he started doing these more serious things. I remember when I stopped listening to YMH. It was around the pandemic, maybe before, maybe like 2019, 2018. And they had a guest on that I had never heard of. Your Mom's House did. And I was like, okay, well, I'll find out who this person is. And Your Mom's House will have a fun time making fun of like internet videos that they always do every week. And they did a serious interview with this person that I didn't give a fuck about. And it wasn't that moment that I was like, I'm never listening to this again. But I do remember that as the time where I was like, oh, he wants to be taken seriously. Like, he was a guy that talked about shitting and made fun of retarded people, videos of retarded people, like the moose soup lady or the try it out guy. Like, he made fun of these weird characters. And now, not dissimilar from Stern, he's distancing himself from that because he wants to be taken seriously. And that's what you notice with these canned answers from Segura.
About film and television the way we feel about podcasting, and we feel about film and television the way she feels about podcasting?
It's perfectly, I mean, possible, you know, like,
Do you think Amy Poehler is also miserable? Do you think she also hates what she does? It's like, no, maybe not. Or maybe. Like, I don't know. But that doesn't mean you have to be that way. You know what I mean? Like, either do some self-reflecting and find what made you love podcasting and get reinvigorated into it, or just stop doing it. Like, those are your options. Or be fucking miserable and keep cashing the check every week. Those are your options, as I see them, I guess. So you can come on the podcast and be like, hey, you fucking assholes, I hate doing this for you, but has it been an hour yet? I always love when guys do that. Like, has it been an hour yet? You know, like on podcast where it's like you have a 9-to-5 job and you keep checking the time. And that's what guys like this do. And it's disheartening as a guy who loves podcasting and loved shows like this. Like, I used to enjoy Two Bears, One Cave in your mom's house. And it's sad to see what it turned into.
Go to blindmike.net for everything Blind Mike. Look at me. I did it. Kragers did it.